This is Thor, the mighty Avenger, Battle Blade Marvel's Hogun, Smash Volstagg, and Harpoon Blade Fandral, otherwise known as the Warriors 3, Hogun the Grim, Volstagg the Voluminous, and Fandral the Dashing. All three figures are sold separately and are part of the second wave of the Thor movie figure toy line, the 3 3/4 scale. These are, well, in the movie, these are 3 of Thor's best friends, as well as in the comic books. And the movie, I think, gave them a very good representation. May not be as accurate as the comic books, but very good nonetheless. If you're asking where Sif is, watch the movie. Sif was part of the band. Sif will appear in Wave 4, which is, I think, due out in June 2011. So we'll see. Okay, these are 3 of the figures that are, I think, the best in this wave. You've seen the first 2 figures, the way that I've already reviewed, the Destroyer and the Thor with the helmet. And I think these 3 were... At first, I never really gave a second thought about getting these 2. I mean, I thought, I didn't really need to get them. When I saw them on retail on the shelves, I had to pick them up. They have wonderful, wonderful paint concepts. Execution is close to 90%. It's a lot better than what we've seen in the Iron Man figures, the Iron Man 2 figures. These figures are phenomenally done, and I'm very, very pleased with the way Hasbro has done these figures. So, let's talk about each one of them. But before we do that, you've seen them in packaging, in the front view. Here is a quick look at the, right there, at the back of the packaging. Very, very cool. So, I'm going to say my thoughts in general about these figures later on, but let's talk about each one of them in detail. Oops, Hogun just fell asleep. Okay, let's start with I think the one, it's still impressive, but the least impressive out of the 3 is Volstagg the Voluminous. He's okay, don't get me wrong. He's actually turned out very nicely. Wasn't too impressed with the pictures, but saw it on retail. Very nice. Had to pick this guy up. The figure has most of the Thor figure articulation. Actually, all of them have. So we'll just do one sweep for the articulation. Everybody has a ball jointed neck. They don't have the Thor ball joint on a hinge. It's just a regular Marvel Universe ball jointed neck for all of them. They all have this ball jointed upper torso, ball hinge shoulders, ball hinge elbows, swivel wrist. No hip articulation for everyone. Ball hinge hips, thigh swivel, which right there. Double hinge knees and ball hinge ankle. Now Volstagg, I say he's the least impressive of the 3 because he's really small compared to them. I mean, in the movie, at least in my opinion, I mean, a lot of you are probably going to say that in the comic books he wasn't really that big, although, I've been reading up on Invincible Iron Man, and he looks to be pretty big. But I wish he was a little bit taller. I wish they would have made him in the same height as maybe the Frost Giant or the Destroyer, instead of just being about the same height as the 2 of them. But, having said that, he has the best paint apps out of the 3 in terms of quality. Design-wise, the 2 others are better than him, but in terms of paint apps quality, this guy has the least amount of quality issues out of the 3. So very good, Hasbro. Congratulations for doing a finely executed figure. Very, very nice. Detailing on him is just phenomenal. Look at that. Very close, well, almost as good. As good as it gets, man. That's as good as it gets, folks. I mean, man, if maybe they could have added a little bit more wrinkles, but it's very, very close to how Volstagg looked in the movie. So very cool. He comes with this nicely sculpted axe. Doesn't do anything. She just holds it. This is really, I think, the display weapon. He also comes with this gimmicky axe, which he can hold like a spade or a shovel or as a gun. And in wave 3, I think we will see this. No, not this one. I don't think we'll see it again, but sorry, I'm jumping the gun. I was talking about that one. But this particular axe looked really nice in packaging, but when you take a look at the gimmick, all it does is this. You just push on the shovel-like handle, and that's all it does. I would have appreciated something like a spring-loaded part of the axe. When you push this, it will just launch like a few millimeters or a few centimeters like that, pop out like that, like a power punch or something like that. This one was just ridiculous. I don't imagine Volstagg really doing this, so I don't even want him to hold it. So that's that. Pretty awesome, very poor gimmick, and not the best size, I think, for Volstagg. So we'll keep him there. Next, we're gonna do let's do Fandral. Yeah, a lot of people seem to like Fandral best. He's okay. He's not my favorite. My favorite is actually Hogun, but we'll talk about that later. Fandral is pretty impressive in his own right. He's sort of the Errol Flynn swashbuckling type of hero. If Volstagg is like the big ass Viking, this guy is like the swashbuckling. Yeah, his sword just says it all. He's okay. He's pretty cool. Great paint apps. Hardly any quality issues. Very close to how he looked like in the movie. Articulation is the same as Volstagg. A few gripes I have about this figure. One, namely his head sculpt. Kinda looks like Ryan Reynolds. So give him a green suit. Could be the Green Lantern with a fake mustache, and that's what really kills this figure for me. I know a lot of people like that. A lot of fans really like that smirk about him, but it doesn't work for me. The mustache that they're trying to do, that Hasbro is trying to do, it looks so fake, and I have no idea what that is. If you're looking for a good Fandral figure, make sure you check out the mustache first, then you check out his bodily paints. He's got a removable cape, which is cool, and he's got a scabbard for his really soft, rubbery plastic sword. And this thing is another thing that really ticks me off about this figure. I mean, come on, Hasbro, you're gonna do a sword that it's so emasculating. Look at that. It just okay. They've got a very stiff scabbard, so this thing is a little bit difficult to put in. I mean, look at that. It just bends right in and just folds. It's so limp. His sword is so limp. Okay, and look at that. Doesn't even fit very well. It's bent, so you can't keep it there for a long period of time because that's what's going to happen. So, fail for me. The other thing they did with this guy is they actually attached the scabbard onto his waist and strapped it onto his legs. So for an articulation junkie like me, this is the only thing his leg can do. Not a whole lot. So I wish they would have made it detachable or somewhere, or a removable belt or something that would rotate. So you, I don't know. Too much complaining. I know. I'm sorry. It's a great figure. Don't get me wrong. I do like this figure. It's just a little bit of a gripe there. For that. Okay. Come on now. Okay, we'll let him hold his soft, rubbery sword. Barely even hold it. Yeah, for safety reasons. I mean, come on, man. I don't think kids are gonna poke themselves with a stiffer sword. Okay, so we'll put him here. Okay. He comes with this. It's, well, his Harpoon Blade. And what it does, we're going to see this again with King Loki in Wave 3. But what it does, you push this button, and these two split up, and it launches the harpoon. I wish they could have done this gimmick with the Sword Spike Thor's big-ass sword, but they didn't. So once again, not the coolest gimmick in the world, but it is there. Come on. doesn't even stay in that well. So that's his weapon. So very cool, definitely nicer than Volstagg, but has its own his share of limitations. Come on, this guy's just getting on my nerves. Just stand up, please. Okay, fxfranz, no, in the fxfranz pose, he has no trouble standing up, but in his regular standing up position, he can't stand up. Okay, stand up. And he's knocked over Hogun Volstagg. Okay. Come on, people. I don't understand what's wrong. Okay. And finally, my favorite... Okay, this guy is ticking me off. Okay. Finally, my favorite of the entire lot is really the ninja samurai warrior Hogun the Grim. Look at that. The guy is just phenomenal. The internet pictures didn't do this guy justice. I mean, he was so bland looking in internet pictures. And then once I saw him on retail, I knew I had to get this guy. Just amazing. I mean, the armor plating on his chest, on his limbs. Look at that. It is well done, well executed. The best one yet. Out of the Thor figures I've seen. Paint issues abound. Yes, you'll have to look at how the silver has been painted. When checking out this figure, make sure you sift through at least 3 or 4 figures. He's got some paint blemishes on the silver and black here and there, and really the worst painted of the 3. If you can find a really decent Hogun, I suggest you pick it up immediately, because you're not going to get another shot at one. So I've seen one with... as you can see, he's Asian, I suppose, or half Asian. I've seen a Hogun figure, where the eyes are like further apart. They're almost to the side of they're almost near the temples of his head, and it just looked funny. He looked like an alien. I mean, that kind of quality issues with this figure, you gotta watch out for that. His cape is removable if you remove his head, which I've already done. I don't want to do it again. You can remove the cape. He also comes with a mace or club, whatever you call this. It's also again made of this soft rubbery plastic, but it holds a lot better than Fandral's sword. There's no way to store this, it just hangs there. Articulation is the same as both these guys, but just really, really an amazing, remarkable figure. And this is really my favorite. If I have another opportunity to get another one, I probably will, but I haven't seen one with as impeccable of a paint application as this one. So be on the lookout for that. If you can find a good one, I guess you have to stick with it. And he has trouble standing up for some reason. These figures are just not cooperating. Alright. Put him here. He comes with this big ass mace, axe, bladed scepter, axe thingy weapon, which is very cool on its own. I mean, they didn't have to do anything with it. It just looked great as a big ass weapon, but it doesn't have any spring loaded gimmick. It has removable blades. This one just acts like a spear or something like that. And these 2 blades, you can actually hold them on either hand like that, which is very cool. They're like fan swords or something like that. Very big blades. I don't know what they call them, but reminds me of what Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow would normally have. So that's very, very cool. I'm really, really digging this guy. Really my favorite of the Warriors 3. So there you go. That's my quick and dirty review of the Warriors 3. Oh, come on. He's not holding his weapon now. Okay, they're very good, very nice. Don't let the internet pictures fool you. These are one of the best figures from the Thor movie line. I highly recommend you pick them up. If you can see them, if you're the completist, you really fell in love with the movie, you're gonna love these figures. So there you go, the Warriors 3, Hogun, Volstagg, and Fandral. Thanks for watching.